The thing that we did, the thing that we didn't do yesterday is we didn't do the so we've done the down to the comma style. Didn't do this conditional formatting. If we look at that, let's just have a look and make sure that we got the idea of what it is exactly that we're going to do here with the conditional formatting. Apply conditional formatting so that the cells with a what is it? Oh, I can't see it because of this, because of Zoom windows all over the place. Sorry about that. Conditional formatting with a value greater than 1 appear with a gold background. So that's only so in this, it's in the G column. So all the stuff in the G column, anything that's more than 1 should turn gold. All right, so to conditional formatting, you're going to find up here on the ribbon. So if you highlight the things that you want to apply the conditional formatting to, you'll find up here on the ribbon that you've got conditional formatting. You can click on that and you can make a new rule. If you had some rules, you could, and you want to get rid of them, you can clear the rules. If you have rules and you want to edit them, you can manage the rules. We don't have any rules yet, so I'm just going to make a new rule. And so now what I want to do is I want to make this rule on these numbers. We're not going to use okay, well, not sure if I want to, no, I don't want this one. I want only that contain only values that are above or below average, only unique or duplicate term which cells, only top or bottom ranked, only that contain. So I might just use, actually it is based on their values, but this one is looking at a minimum and a maximum, so it's not quite what I was hoping. So data bar icon, not still doing the so format cells only. Okay, all right, let's do this one. They contain a cell value, and then I'll say above, equal to, or greater than or equal to, and then the value is going to be 1. Now I don't have any formatting there, so I'm going to choose a color, which would be a fill, and they said a kind of a gold fill. So that will be anything that's greater than or equal to 1 is going to have that value, that color. So that goes ahead and does those. So that's how I would do the conditional formatting. The other bit is put your number in there. Now it says renaming the tab. It's talking about the tab. So if you click on the tab, you can change the name. Okay, so it's that. So that's how we rename it. You just click on it, or right click and rename. And there is a sort of, so if I right click on that, I would right click on that, then I've got a color as well that I can change the color to green. And that's all it needs for that. So that's the end of that one. I had one student did it and looked pretty good. That's the way I would do it. So just to make it a little bit tidier, I'd sort of stick with the 2 decimal places. Certainly accountants will thank you for that, because that's the way they look at numbers normally. And then you've got your conditional formatting and you're sort of ready to go. So the next thing to do, you'll find, and I'm going to put this one away now. So let's just save that, put that away. You'd save it and upload that, right? So I'm putting that one away. The next thing that you've been asked to do on the home page is open up this candles thing, and there's some data that you've got to enter, and then you've got to create a graph. They call it a chart or graph, however you like to use the word. So this is what you're asked to do. You're asked to enter this data. Okay, so let's do that. Create new column, total sales. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So I've got a graph. I've got that data here. I didn't want to type all this stuff in front of you. You don't need to see how slow I am at typing. That's not really necessary. So Thing I thought I'd show you, rather than typing region 1, region 2, region 3, region 4 across the thing, if you type something like that and it's a series and at the end is some numbers, you can just type the first one and copy across and it'll do the numbers for you. So that'll save you a bit of typing. Then the other thing is it asked about a title for, now I think the best way to put a title on a table would be to highlight a bunch of columns in the first row, and then you can merge. Now it's kind of hard to see because I've got this sort of in a small window, but if you had a big window, you would see that actually says merge and center, and that's what that symbol there is about. That's a merge and center, and what that will do is all those cells will be one cell now, and then anything that you put in there will be will go into that cell. Now, what does it say? It says insert title, Cutter Candle Company. All right, so I can just type in there Cutter Candle Company. And that should be centered. Now it says that you're supposed to apply a heading 1 to it or something like that. So that would be, well, I guess I could just format that and see if I can find a heading for it. So that would be font, I suppose. To be honest, I'm not using this type of thing a lot. That's not going to give it to me. That's one way. I mean, I could just make it bigger with the font, and maybe even easier just to sort of go and do this is how I would usually change the fonts. Okay, I want it bigger, I'll just do that. That's how I would do it. But it's not, it's actually asking us to do something that we've done before, which is to, okay, so those are just the numbers. Currency, I'm sorry about this. Where would that be? Page layout. Should be in this one. Cell styles. Yeah, there we go. So here we go. I'm sorry that it's just not the way that I do it, but there it is, heading 1. So we can choose heading 1 by the cell styles. That's basically the same as we would do it in Microsoft Word. So we got that. Now the next thing that it's asking us for is create a new column called total sales, and I suppose they would want that to be here. And so I just make it so you can click and drag the widths to make it how you like. Now this is pretty obvious what this is going to be. So I'm just going to go straight over here to we saw this yesterday. I'm going to go straight over here to the auto. I could have just typed equal sum, but that'll just pick up all the numbers. And then I'm just going to add those in there. And there we go. Totals, and we got a grand total, right? Okay, so we got that. There's our totals. I'm not sure why I put that. Actually, this totals wasn't asked for. I was doing that for something else. My apologies. So I highlighted those cells and just hit the delete key. You can remove anything from your deletes, but it's asked you to do it just like this. So I haven't quite done that. All right, so that's fine. And I didn't spell company right. Yeah, company. That was a Freudian slip. I don't know if you know what a Freudian slip means. Freudian slip is when deep in your mind, but in your subconscious, you're thinking something, and then you say it by mistake. So, deep in my mind, I'm thinking that companies sometimes con people. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. So add a total row. We've done at the bottom. Oh, we did have to do a total row at the bottom of the table. Yeah, so that's good. Add a total row at the bottom. That's good. All right. So again, it's going to be, I can just do it the easy way. Hit that. Yeah, that works. And there's my total. So I got totals across the side and totals across the bottom. Calculate the totals for each region. Done that. There's our totals for each region. It kind of might be good if we sort of, for the totals, I bet we could go over here to these cell styles and find something that would look good for totals, right? Here we go, totals. There we go. We could probably do that with this too. That'd be kind of fun. Look at totals. So we got our totals and we set them. Ooh, that was, so let's undo that. I don't want to set the whole column to be totals. I just want to set this. I set the values at the ends. There we go. So we got our totals, and that's all looking how I think they wanted to look. Format the column headings to be professional. Professional. Okay, so here's our column headings. What do you think? We can find a heading in here that would be professional? What do you think? Which one? No, any of those you like? Good. An accent. Warning. Look, I'm just going to go with that one. That's professional enough for me. Um, then we got to insert the, here's the fun part. We get to insert a graph. So when we're inserting a graph, what you do is you choose the values that you want to show up in the graph, and it shows you the graph. Now, I don't like this graph, so I'm not going to do it exactly like this, because this graph has the total is going to be half of the graph. So that's just not, I mean, somebody did this by mistake. That's not the way you do a graph. So the graph should just be a single whole without the total being one of the values. So I'm going to do everything but the total, right? So, I mean, what that person did is they highlighted this, and then they highlighted that, or it's by region. So if you highlight that and then you hold your control key down and highlight that, you could create a graph that would look like that one. But how I'm going to do it is I'm just going to highlight these and these. So what I've got is I've got my legend, that's at the top, and I've got my values, which are at the bottom. So that because if I look at this graph, what I see is this graph is the totals for every region. And so the totals for every region, there's lots of graphs I could do from this. So I could have done a graph this way, and well, let's do it. Let's do two different graphs here, right? So, I mean, it only asks us to do one, but let's do two. All right, so now we're going to find a place where we like to do this. We've got that highlighted, and we're going to go and insert. And there's lots of things you can insert, but what we want is charts. Now, we could pull down a chart menu or whatever, but if we look here quickly, we can just see that there's something there that looks kind of like the chart that we want to do. So that would be a pie chart. That seems right. But I have a pull down menu, and I have lots of different pie charts that I can choose. And I can see one there that's pretty much like how I want, which is a 3D pie chart. And if I look at that, it's already got the regions are there, because that's the reason why we chose them. The regions are there, and the chart, by the way, is movable. We can put it to where we want. But the title is just a title. I can fix that, just double click on it and change it. After candle sales or something, candle company or something, whatever. What I shouldn't. I can look and see, can't I? Cutter candles, yeah, cutter candles. And that's kind of almost it, right? I mean, that was so easy, wasn't it? Now, there can be a lot more to it. Oh, well, we haven't finished, right? Because we don't have the numbers showing up as labels in the graph parts. So we can do that. So over here, we have different little tools that we can use that apply to the chart when we've got the chart highlighted. So I can go ahead and I can add. So I see we have got a title, fix that, got a legend, but we don't have data labels. Let's go ahead and get some data labels. And yeah, there they are. So they're in there. And that would be about it. And then, so we got the table title, labels, and then you go and put your name. Now, I want to show you that, as I said, you got to be thinking when you create your chart, because there's lots of charts that we could make out of this. So another chart we could make would be, we could take the different items of the candles, and we could have the total sales for each of those. And so how I would do that, holding my control key, I'm going to get all the different types of candle products and their total sales. And then I'm going to make a new graph out of that. And you don't have to, well, let's do a different kind of graph, right? Because maybe we don't want to do a pie graph. Let's do one of these graphs. Okay. I don't know why we like 3D. They're kind of cool. Yeah, don't think just like that. Well, you don't need to have things stacked. Just like that. Let's try and see. Some charts cannot be combined. Maybe this is one that can't. All right, so I picked the wrong one. Let's pick this one. That one. All right. Well, what happened was looks like I stopped. No, I highlighted it. What? My apologies, folks. Maybe I should practice this before, right? So I got that. Let's go into the insert of a graph. the create chart, select cells. I did select the cells. If you name it, so maybe I need to select those. I thought they're selected. Control. Come on, give me a chart. Let's do this one again. We know it works. Anyway, so this time we have it broken up and we have the candle jars, but you see that the graph is quite big. My apologies on that my other chart not working. I'm not sure what that was all about. Perhaps I need a total for that. Anyways, we have done a little bit more than was required. If you do up until here, that's all you're required for this exercise. All right, so somebody's chat, they probably tell me, sir, can we copy that data or do we need to? If you can find a place to copy the data, yeah, go. I mean, I don't know how you copy it. I mean, I had to type it in.